One thing that is really important to realise is that if we gain our happiness and our own self-acceptance from what others think of us, that's never going to end well. Hello and welcome back to my channel. Now today I'm going to be doing a little bit of a chit-chatty video about how to stop people pleasing. People pleasing is a massive issue, and I think everybody is prone to doing it. Some people much more so than others, and it's something that I've really been working on over the last year and going forward to not do. It's not healthy, it's not good for you, and it actually can be really difficult to try and break the habit of people pleasing and understand the root of why you're doing it and therefore why it's damaging, and also just how to stop when you've acted a certain way your whole life and suddenly you're trying to change that aspect of yourself. It can be difficult. There is no real answer to stopping people pleasing. It's definitely more a case of your mindset and trying to change your perspective on things. Not people pleasing, it's more about being yourself and being you and not worrying about how other people perceive you or whether or not they accept who you are. At the end of the day, there is always going to be someone out there who doesn't like you. It's the way the world is. Everybody's different, and there will always be someone who's not your biggest fan. And for some reason, the way the world has developed, we now live in this world which is so heavy on comparison and judgment of people and talking about people. People gossip all the time without even realizing it, and for some reason it's become totally acceptable. And in fact, a lot of people even use gossip as something to bond over, which is just so unhelpful and unhealthy, because you're never gonna know the ins and outs of what's going on in anyone's life. Even some of your closest friends, you can't truly know, understand and appreciate everything they're going through. They might not even be telling you everything, and that's fine, that's up to them. But it's being able to stand up and be yourself and hold your head high in a world that seems so bent on judging people and people being wrong. And it is a challenge, it is very difficult, but I know that I've definitely got better this past year. So yeah, we're just going to talk about it a little bit. Firstly, obviously the world has been in a global pandemic and we have had lots of lockdowns and lots of time away from everybody. So a positive thing from this is that when you're living in your own safe little bubble, it allows you the space and time to just be you. Another thing that's really helpful is taking a step away from social media, putting your phone down, not looking at Instagram, not looking at Facebook. And I actually now basically live with my phone on silent so that whenever it goes off, I'm not like, oh, is that a message? Oh, who's that? Just to stop the grip that these have on us these days. Stepping away from the online world and just being you in your safe space is the start to stopping people pleasing, because it is in that space where you are truly yourself and you realise what actually really matters to you. For example, if I am on my phone a lot, I quite often browse clothing websites and I think, oh, I want that, I want that, I want that, I want that, because I'm looking at it. However, if I say to myself, no, you're not allowed to go on these clothing websites for a week, a month, a day, whatever, then I'm perfectly satisfied with what is in my own wardrobe and I don't even think about the prospect of owning any more clothes. And it's the same with watching other people living their lives and even talking to other people, corresponding with other people. There's this sense of comparison and living up to the world's expectations of what you should be doing, who you should be seeing and how you should be spending your time. Having that time to yourself allows you to discover more who you are, what matters to you, what you really care about, and it brings you back down to your roots of your true identity and who God actually made you to be and intended you to be. Everybody is different. Everyone is different. Everyone has their own interests, their own unique quirks, and you need to be confident in these things that make you unique and make you your own person. If you shy away from them, they become somewhat of an insecurity and you kind of lose that part of yourself. However, even if other people think it's weird, if you think, no, I like this, I'm gonna wear this, or no, this is how I wanna do it, I enjoy doing it this way, this is what I'm gonna do. And if you walk confidently, people don't really bat an eyelid. you stop worrying about other people, what other people think, and most likely people stop worrying about you too. It's like, I used to have a friend and she could wear the craziest, wackiest clothes that I just felt like I would look like a complete idiot wearing, but she walked with confidence, she owned the look and she made it look amazing. You need to discover yourself, come back to your roots, and then walk with confidence. And be confident about who you are. If someone says, hey, I don't like that, be like, oh really? Gosh, no, I actually love it. It's not that difficult. It's okay to like different things. You don't have to be the same as everybody else for them to accept you. People might even discover that something you're interested in is something that they might want to pursue as well. But if you never talk about it, how are they ever going to discover that? One thing that is really important to realise is that if we gain our happiness and our own self-acceptance from what others think of us, that's never going to end well, because somewhere along the line you're going to run into someone again who comes at you, disagrees with you, doesn't like you, whatever it may be. And if you qualify yourself and your value by others' opinions, it's fragile, it's gonna get damaged. As soon as what we've been doing or how we've been acting is threatened by someone's disapproval, your whole world will come crashing down because you're basing your value on what that person says or thinks. It's when you stop seeking that approval and carry on with what you're doing, acting the way you want to act and being the person you want to be, and being okay with that, and not worrying about what other people think of that, that is when you find your true, authentic self. Otherwise, there's this version of you that is completely manipulated and adapted by your environment and the people around you, and that's not you. That's not the true you. There are some people who will only like you and only approve of you if you fit in the box that they've made you and fit in the box that they want you to be kept in. As soon as you step outside of that, you might come face to face with a battle or dispute, but you've got to remember that is not your box. They've made that box, that's for them to deal with. You have your own life, and that cannot be dictated by someone else's lines. It's about learning to be okay with that and learning to be okay with stepping outside of the box that other people place you in. If you do it with confidence, with grace, with peace, with happiness, if you're gentle and you just continue along the path that is made for you, confident with your head held high, people will adapt to it and people will accept it. And those that don't will just fall away, and it doesn't really matter. You haven't gained or lost anything there. Therefore, you shouldn't be afraid of what other people think of you or potentially losing people. What you should be afraid of is losing yourself, because you could have all the people around you in the world but be living under a mask, and that is destructive and restrictive, and you will never find peace or be happy if you live that way. And if people disagree with you and don't like it and aren't willing to accept it, move on. God is the only one who will truly understand your whole heart and all the decisions you make. We need to focus on what God says about us. We're children of God, we have purpose, and He has a perfect path designed for us to live in this world. We have so much value and He wants to use us. There is meaning to our lives here on earth. And if we are focusing on our environment and the people around us and what they want us to be, we're walking down the path other people are making for us and totally ignoring God's perfect path that He has laid out specifically for us. So I totally get that not people pleasing is really difficult, but if you take the time to just sit back and listen to your heart, you know and can recognize when you are doing something or saying something that is sacrificing a bit of who you are to please and fit in with the people around you. Just recognizing that is a step toward not people pleasing. It's okay to focus on yourself, especially at these times when the world is just crazy and most of us are just stuck in our homes working, and that is basically all we can do. This creates the perfect opportunity to take the time to really dig deeper and get back to who we truly are without the influence of other people who may affect that negatively. I know that this was a little bit of a mishmash, my thoughts kind of all over the place on this, but I hope that this was helpful, because not people pleasing is so important. It's so important to who we are, our identity, our peace. It is a daily thing that you've got to learn not to do. It's ongoing. There's no one answer. So I hope there was something in this video that you found helpful. If you did, please do give it a like. Please do subscribe. And I will see you again soon. Bye bye.